firm based in California. I lead a data science team of about 20 data scientists and machine learning engineers, and we belong to an organization called R&D, AI Strategy and Execution. So we are tasked with developing AI capabilities to accelerate R&D at that biotech firm. So I have a long experience using mathematics and data science to advance biopharma, and I believe I have a lot that I could contribute to this effort. I look forward to helping you all. When people ask me what would I have changed in the way I conducted myself as a younger person in studying or whatever, I say two things. I would have found a good mentor, and I would have done more internship. You know, I did the usual study. I studied, and then I started looking for a job. It worked, but it works better when you have a mentor and you get internships along the way. So, you know, I'm privileged to be part of this program. I'm sorry I was very late. You know, that gets busy and with predictable and unpredictable things. But I'm very excited to be here. I look forward to contributing as much as I can. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I called you my professor. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate your time. That's great. So this is good. So next, mentor, tell me if you want me to pull up your bio or you want to speak, and we can come to your screen. Okay.
Yeah, BC, I can speak if that's okay.
Awesome. Let me come to that screen. Wait, it's my Zoom meeting. Stop sharing. And that's EB. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, so thank you so much, BC, for giving me this platform. Like most of you, I was a biochemist, or I graduated from University of Maryland in biochemistry. It was a lot of fun. I loved biochemistry because it was just the right blend of physics, the right blend of chemistry, the right blend of biology, right? You didn't really have to get into like, I don't know, euglena and all of that stuff, taxonomy. Like you just took the interest in parts. It was like almost for me, it was like doing an a la carte type of study, right? So I loved it. I loved doing a lot of the lab work, you know, GCMS, chromatography. I could go on and on, like all the different experiments you did. And so I actually went into the real life world. And unfortunately for me, what I found was the real life world was not as interesting as when you're in school, because in the real life world, as just, I guess, an entry-level technician or an entry-level lab worker, even though you might know the answer, you need a PhD to sign off. And it's not that the PhD is smarter than you, it's just that's the way it works. It's like, oh, I calibrated the machine and it's not within the acceptable range. Well, you cannot sign off. You have to have the PhD sign off. And then plus a bunch of other things in terms of, you know, how you were compensated. So I actually decided I was going to change careers, and I went into sales. And I've done that for close to 20 years. Right now, a member of Oakland USD staff. I'm a system-wide substitute, and it's actually provided me interest and insights into the way education works and what works and what doesn't work per se, in terms of just looking at a system holistically. Along the way, a few years back, I got a certificate in project management, which is also very interesting because really, when you look at life, when you look at a lot of things, you can almost break it down into, okay, this is a project, this is how much it's going to cost, this is the duration, this is the quality I'm looking for, here are the risks, and here are the people that are going to help me do this. So again, echoing on what Gilles has said, some of the things that I could have done differently, perhaps I could have gone into chemical engineering, which was another option. It would have required more math. You know, you'd be looking at eigenvalues and Hamiltonians in your brain, like you'll be going crazy. Like you will have a fever, literally, trying to calculate, like, you know, 3 particles in a box. And you're like, oh, you could fry an egg on my forehead by the time I'm done with that class. But what I could have done differently, aside maybe from going into chemical engineering, is the same things that Gilles said: mentorship and more internships, and then perhaps maybe working on my people skills, because I think that's something that just helps smooth everything up, right? Like, you could be the best technician, the most intelligent person in your class, but if you don't have people skills, it's gonna slow down your rate of progress. So again, I want to thank BC for giving me this opportunity, and hopefully I can be of assistance and I can help you all in terms of where you're going with your career and where you're going with your education. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Evie. This is great. Welcome. We're glad to have you on board. There's so much to gain from you too. So, who's next? We need another mentor to Umesh. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Actually, like EB and Gilles, I would first thank PC for this platform. Really, I think not just for mentoring, young engineers or young undergraduates, it's just that it's such a noble gesture that, we connect people in the world, right? From various aspects, various spectrums. Everyone is on their own journey, but the best part about this platform really is that when we meet, when we talk, and when we exchange ideas, it only brings out something new, something better in the world. And that is one reason why I was interested when my wife Neha mentioned about how they met and how they actually spoke about this initiative. So I'll start with thanking you, and I would like to congratulate you for whatever you're doing, BC. Really noteworthy and exemplary. And so would to Ola, who is, of course, another important member, right, of as a host here. Hello, everyone. Most of the mentors know me, or they remember because of our earlier meeting. I'm Umesh Rawat. And to the mentees who have joined us for the first time, I'm a software engineer by vocation. I have been working with the banking and financial domain for quite a while now to call myself a senior engineer in this industry. It has been a great journey. I mean, just like you guys, you are in college right now, you are going through your subjects. I'm sure, there is excitement about certain subjects, there is anxiety about the future, there is curiosity about what's coming next, what the future holds, things like that. I've gone through the same, I still go through the same emotions, right? Even today when we are working in new projects, when we have something new that comes up. And frankly, I look for mentors even today, because as a human being, if you are positive, if you're excited about your future, you will always be even looking forward for some kind of cues or directions which will make your aspiration or journey easier, right? So how I take it in life is that till the time you're alive, till the time you're looking forward, you'll always look for some directions and some help, right? While you keep on working hard, while you have your commitment to achieve what you want to. So back to where I was in the college, I think the only part which I agree with EB and Gilles, and I'm sure with most of other people in the platform, is that if you have some mentor, if you have somebody who has seen 5 years ahead or 10 years ahead, and they say, hey, this is what it entails and this is what you should do, it makes the journey easier, but it also focuses your efforts and your knowledge in a very focused manner, which will help you, if not 10 times, but at least makes it easier for you to concentrate in one area. Because we're in the current times and there's a lot of information going around, right? Everyone has access to internet. Everyone is aware of where the world is going. Everyone knows that there are certain subjects they can just open the computer, start reading, and probably start learning. But where the direction to pursue something is always makes it easy to pursue in that direction, is that when you have somebody to talk with. And it could be a friend, It could be people who already seen that path earlier. So that's what I would summarize it as. So it's a great platform, it's a great initiative. So I look forward to being a mentor. I look forward to talking with anyone who would like to understand more about software engineering, deciding about this vocation or something else in parallel. So that's all I would right now take my time for. But going ahead, I'm sure we'll have a lot of opportunity to catch up and talk more. So I'll stick to this for now.
Thank you so much, Umesh.
Thank you.
This is great. Thank you for your time. So we have other mentors that would like to hear from. If you can keep it brief and just share with us, like, what would you do differently?
I can speak.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. What would we do differently about what exactly?
So your younger self, since we're addressing the mentees, Jill brought that up.
Oh,
That's a good one.
yeah, I wouldn't be a pharmacist. So my name is Ndidi Amaka Obareke, and this is an awesome platform. And I think, one of the things that I want to convey to my younger self, being, our mentees, is you have to discover what your passion is, and you need to follow that. Don't do what your parents tell you to do because they want to live vicariously through you. Figure out who you are, what your purpose is, what your passion is, and follow that. If I were to go back to when I was 20 or whatever, I definitely would not go to pharmacy school. So, if you're interested in, hearing that perspective of what do you do when you get, older and you figure that, oh my goodness, I'm doing something that I don't really have a passion for, then I'm your mentor. So I hope to work with all of you very soon.
And that is great. Thank you so much, Didi. So I don't want all of you going back home and telling your parents you don't want to do what they told you to do, because Didi won't be there to save you. But definitely engage with her. I know what she's saying, but we have options. Find out, how can I fulfill my passion? Because at the end of the day, what's going to pay your bills? Because you can have passion, but how do you blend it? So definitely you want to connect with Didi, because she's also into some big stuff in the business world, and she's making moves. So she knows what she's saying. Okay, which mentor have we not heard from?
Okay, I think I'll just go up. That'll be me. Okay, so I would say thank you for everyone for coming, the mentees, at least scheduling this part of your time to be here, to listen to us, rave about our lives and things like that. But be mindful, we're just here to help. And just like my fellow mentors have said, we've all had to go through it one way or the other. So my name is Olamide Ajala Inyang. So I grew up in Lagos. And like most mentors, unfortunately, because it's a double-edged sword for me. Not having a mentor, having a direction, I've had to go through life making my own decisions. So just to give you a brief recap, I started off by being a science laboratory technologist. Then I realized that wasn't the path for me. Then I went into physics electronics. Then from doing electrons, I realized, oh, I could do better. Then I went into civil engineering. Then from there, I went into mechanical engineering. No, I went into structural engineering. Then eventually I went into mechanical engineering. So you don't want to be like me, going round and round in circles. And of course, that takes a lot of be passionate and be driven about what you want. I knew what I wanted. So eventually, when I kept going through those things, I'm like, oh no, that shouldn't have been me. This should have been me. And eventually I am where I am. I'm lucky enough that I could kind of combine all my engineering degrees and use them to work right now. Right now, I work as a principal engineer. I work for a company where we design wind turbines, and I get to use almost all my degrees in one way or the other, combine all my educational degrees together. If I'd had a mentor or have like a direction and not listening to my parents and say, hey, we wanted you to be a doctor or wanted you to be something, having someone that told me, hey, these are the cons and this will be what you will eventually face with when you get the job. So for example, as a laboratory technologist, I thought, oh, I'll be a doctor. And when I went into the lab, and putting needles in people was very scary for me. I couldn't even stand it, or having to deal with people's poo and things like that. I'm like, nope, this is not me. And things like that. And that's how I kept changing my degrees, and I kept adding on to them to get me to where I am. So to just cap it all, there are always a perspective from where we come back from home in Nigeria. Our parents want us to be one thing, and we also want to be one thing because we feel that is what is paying, or that is what most people are saying just by the name. Sometimes the degree with their names don't necessarily earn you a living. So you need to fashion out what you're really good at, what will bring money to you easily. I tell people it's easy for you to not do as much work, be smart. So don't do hard work, do smart working, and it pays your bill. That is the way to go. And that's what I eventually figured out. So we are all here as resources, like they've said, a blank check for you to be able to tap into, make use of, and be able to drive you to what you want. We know life can be challenging and things like that. So, but we get to discuss more as we pair each other with mentees and mentors. But just know that you have a wide selection of very good people here to help you, direct you, and make your life smarter and easier. Thank you.
This is great. This is great. Thank you so much, Ola. That was powerful. I think this is well said. So mentees, we like to come.
I still, but since I'm not like a full-time,
Yes,
I'm not
go
too
ahead,
sure.
go for it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for inviting me, BC, as well, and thank you for the opportunity as well. It's nice to meet all the mentees, and I'm excited for what you gained from this forum. I think for me, the two things that I will change, even now as I am, it's a continuous process for me, is the ability to remain flexible, being able to identify when something is not working, and then, pivoting into something that might work better for you, something that you're more suited for. So my own example is that I started out trying to become a software engineer in the core software engineering form. And, I just couldn't get the opportunities that I was looking for because I was just not cut out for that. So I pivoted into the next best thing for me, which was AI and data science. It might sound a little bit different. It might sound a little bit more challenging, but for some reason, that's where my skills were better suited for. My curiosity and things like that may be better in that field than just a software engineer. And with that, I've been able to, and while you get into the things that you really want to do, then you try and do hard things. Try as much as possible to do difficult things, because that's how you grow. If you keep taking like the simple routes, you will never really grow. So, every quarter, every year, I'm trying to do something different, trying to try something I haven't done before, something that makes me very uncomfortable. And only by doing those uncomfortable things do I really see some growth. And finally, I think mentorship is very important. I never really had a mentor growing up, in terms of like professional mentorship and things like that. So I spent 6 years doing something that I should have taken 4 years. I eventually figured it out, but it could have taken less time, less effort. So I think that's the most important thing here, mentorship. It will save you time, it will save you the effort, and to give you some direction. So yeah.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, Rotimi. That's powerful. Thank you for sharing. Is there anyone else any mentor that I'm missing? Those are great nuggets already that we have. Okay, let's see. So I think we've heard from all the mentors in the house. This is good. Mentees, we're going to come to you shortly. And I want to say a little bit about to my younger self. What would I have done differently? And this also sheds light on why this is so valuable. At the age of 16, I left Nigeria and I went to the UK. I thought I was going for vacation, and my mom told me, "You're not coming back to Nigeria." I was devastated. To you, you may think, "Oh, that's exciting." But hey, she told me not to come back, but she didn't give me money. I only had £100, which I've already spent at the end of my vacation shopping, because I thought I'm going back to Nigeria to show off my latest clothes or whatever. So what I had to do as a 16-year-old in the UK was tough. I had to get jobs. I had to make decisions without my parental involvement. I had to navigate through life I had to grow up fast. I became an adult as a 16-year-old. I was working all kinds of jobs in hotels, cleaning offices, Burger King, what have you, post office, all kinds of jobs. If I give you my resume from my 16-year-old to my 20-year-old, it's very long. It was tedious, but it all worked out because it built my character. But being a mentor and having a mentor is like being given a GPS versus being thrown out in the ocean or in the forest to go navigate your way. You may find your way all right, but you will come out with more bruises, more blisters in your hand. You will get lost. You're hearing stories of something that should have taken less years is taking longer. But what I want to tell you is though it hasn't been the smartest way to navigate life, but it has also contributed something to who we are. To my 16-year-old, I had to worry, I had to deal with worries, fears of having nobody to really protect you, of having to deal with rejection as a girl child. I had to grow up, and I had to grow up fast. And I had to tell myself, it's going to be okay. And I grew up in that era where there was no cell phone. For me to talk to my mom, I had to make an appointment with a neighbor who has phone in their house. In 2 weeks' time, I'll call you. By then, you call in 2 weeks. There's no guarantee that the call will go through, but I had to go through university. So I had to be informing my parents. I've enrolled in school. I've done my A-levels. I'm doing my degree, first degree. I'm doing a PhD, all after the fact, but I had to do it. I had an option. I could have fallen through the crack, but I'm thankful that I had faith and I had people that I could reach out to. One of the few books that I read as a young self was The Road Less Traveled. I had a mentor in the UK who I'm still in touch with today, Deji Ishmael, and he gave me that book to read. And it was powerful. It was life-changing. So don't be afraid to do things that are difficult. Don't be afraid to be the first in your family. Cheers to more first. Don't be afraid to do the uncomfortable growth. If you're not uncomfortable, that means you're not growing. But I was put in an uncomfortable situation. Many of us were put in uncomfortable situations, but we asked, what is the lesson in this for me? What am I supposed to gain from this? Because I'm not going to be in it forever. So whatever you're going through, and now to our young selves, we say a big thank you. As adults, we look back to our young selves and we say thank you for hunkering down, for holding on, holding the bulls by the horns and navigating through life, despite how tough it was. And we share this because we know you are there, but we give you a reflection that we used to be where you are, but connect with us as part of your path to your future, saying, maybe you can pick one person out of us and say, if this person can make it, there's hope for me. I can do it too. If we made it without this kind of mentorship, imagine what you can do to your future self. So I do hope that you'll take advantage of this great opportunity that we're handing out to you. And also bear in mind that we hope that you can give back to the next cohort and teach them what we are teaching you and continue to pay forward. Having said that, we still have our, thank you so much. The mentees will love to hear from you, and then you may have questions for us. If you don't want to forget your questions, feel free to put it in the chat, and then we'll come back to that. But I'd like to hear from the mentees. I'm going to call your names as I see them. Nanso, would you like to go first? And if possible, when you're introducing yourself, show your video briefly, if you can. Thank you so much. Okay.
Good evening.
Hi, Nanso.
My name is Ness. Yeah, I'm also.
Hi, Nanso. Would you like to give us a brief about what you're doing and what you hope to gain out of this mentorship?
Okay. So I'm studying mechanical engineering. For this in this mentorship program, I hope to gain maybe some experiences that will help me in my choosing career field as in mechanical engineering. Part of the mentee, and also possible like tips from people that have already gone through this road to help me go through this thing.
That is great. Thank you so much. And Nonso, are you the eldest of your family?
Yes, I'm good.
So you're already being a mentor. Yes, this is good. And Nonso, thank you so much for your brief introduction. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. We're here for you. We're here to help you. Thanks for the intro. So let's go to the next person. Marvelous, would you like to introduce yourself, please? Thank you, Nonso. Okay.
Good day, everyone. My name is Marvelous Awolola. I'm a biochemistry student in King's University, Odeomu, Nigeria. And I'm actually in my final year. I'm in my final year, and a lot of responsibilities as a final year student, working on your seminar topic, working on your project. And I don't just want to do a kind of anyhow project. I want to do a project in what I want to, I just want to write a project that I will not use later in life. I want to write a project that I know that when I'm done with school, I'll be able to present it to the world, not only to the world, but actually it's going to go in line with what I want to do next with my life. And a lot of decision making during this time also. I don't need anybody to tell me how how good a mentor is to me in this kind of stage of my life. And I'm actually happy to be here also. Thank you, man.
This is great. Thank you, Marvelous. We're glad you're here, and thanks for that intro. Okay. Ezekiel, like you're on the line. Let's see. We still have more people. Ezekiel, you can come on, then Daniel, you'll be next. And Nengi, you'll be next also. So Ezekiel, if you're ready, please come on. If not, we can take Nengi.
Good evening from here. Good evening to everyone, to all the mentors and my fellow mentees. I would like to speak once again with a heart full of joy. I'm in my final year, King's University, Odeomu, studying biotechnology. Yes, currently I'm working on a project on the popular, what we call popularly yam here, which is known scientifically as the Dioscora species. So my project is a very, very interesting one because I'm looking at various ways of improving and working on the yam species, working on 3 basic species actually. And at the end of my project, I expect to have a meaningful contribution to the agricultural sector, which has always been my passion. My passion has always been to provide, to join the world in providing food security and food safety, because I know in this part of the world, Africa, that we find ourselves, food is a necessity. So we find ourselves in a place where some can actually eat with their 10 fingers, while some can't even afford a meal a day. So it's very, very, very important to me to make sure that I contribute my quota, my best, towards ensuring food security, not just in my city alone, but to my country, to Africa, and to the world at large. So thank you very much to VOA, to all the mentors here for giving me the platform to go ahead with this. I'm really grateful. Good evening, everybody, once again from here.
Thank you so much, Ezekiel. It's good to have you here. That's great. Daniel, are you online? Nengi, are you still with us? Okay. Nengi, I think you're yes. Nengi, do you want to come on board? And Emmanuel, you're coming up too, okay?
Hello, good day. My name is Onenge Briggs. I'm 16 years and I'm about to enter university. What I hope to gain from this program, I hope by the end of this program that I'll be able to expand my knowledge on my field, which is computer engineering and tech AI. I hope that everyone gets more knowledge and everybody will be able to cooperate.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Nengi. Computer engineering and AI. Welcome on board. Okay. Emmanuel, would you like to go next? We haven't heard from Daniel. Is Daniel still on the line? Oh, I don't see Daniel, but I see Emmanuel. Emmanuel, could you introduce yourself for us, please? There you are.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ukucha Emmanuel Abba. I'm a medical student of the University of Lagos, currently studying medicine and surgery. I would like to become a medical practitioner because I'm very passionate about the human body. I'm also very passionate about leadership and giving back to the community. And at the end of this program, I would like to have acquired relevant skills in leadership, communication, and about my field too, medicine. So thank you, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. Good evening.
This is awesome. Thank you, Emmanuel. So proud of you. Well done. Thank you. So I think we've heard from all our mentors, but Abdurazak, you're a volunteer and you're the ones coordinating the mentees in Nigeria. Would you like to say something before we move on? Abdurazak, are you able to speak? If not, we can come back to you. Okay. We have other mentees, they're not here. So we can move on. We can move along on our program because we have other things. I'm going to go to the slide that I prepared. So 1 minute. All right, so slideshow here. Okay, this is good. So we've done introductions, we've talked about, Ola, I'm going to hand over to you where we can talk about, so we're missing one mentor here, Michael Ogunsoya. He's also AI enthusiast. But he's available, not today, but to also mentor. So these are our lists of mentees. Tano, she's not here. We have Tano and Nengi we heard from, Emmanuel we heard from. Nelson did not join us today. Angela did not join us today. So we have two ladies here in our mentee group, but we've heard from the guys. Nonsor Opeoluwa did not join us. He's into computer science as well at Covenant University. And we didn't hear from Daniel. Tekafo is not here as well. So we're missing a few of them, but hopefully Abrazaki can help track them down. Okay, so that's the list. Let's go over quickly what the Ola, you can go over the expectations and what to expect, and then we can ask questions from our mentors and mentees, and then we'll set them free.
Okay, let me see. Just a quick one. Okay, so basically, based on the number of mentees that we have here today, and would probably circle back to check what the interest of the other ones are. Maybe they'll be able to join us tomorrow. I'm not sure, but at least I noticed that we already have a mechanical engineer, we have computer AI specialist, we have some biochemistry, and we have some medicine. But even though those are the preferred or chosen field of study right now, that doesn't still mean that all the other mentors that we have online, because mathematics, whether you like it or not, I tell people, it's something you need later on in life, whether it's for accounting purposes or it's for engineering purposes, or even in your medical or biochemistry field, when you begin to do your Excel sheets and things like that, you would be surprised that all these kind of things come into play. So even though we know you've specified the things that you specifically say you're interested in, it is the job of the mentors to kind of still help you to probably give you some.
Abdurazak, we need to mute. Abdurazak, mute, please. Abdurazak, you need to mute.
Where's Abdurazak?
Okay, I just muted him.
Okay. So basically, what I'm trying to say to the mentees is that we know what your interests are, and when we actually advise you guys to speak up, but we're still saying as mentors, we can also advise you on certain aspects of life that you've not think about or that you think you don't need right now. Mathematics, computer learning languages, some skills from the pharmacist herself, that probably would tie into one way or the other. So even though maybe you specified, hey, I want to be a mechanical engineer. Yes, we have a mechanical engineer as a mentor that we can pair you with, but don't be surprised if they still pair you with other people that could kind of impact, to your success and your journey in life. So what we'll basically be taking from here onward is that we will circle back, look at your specific interest, look at the mentors' schedules as well, try to match some mentors with some mentees. And then from there, BC, if you could go to the next slide, please. The ones with the programs. No, the one before that one. The number 6. Yeah. So basically, we'll review and assign mentors to mentees based on interest, discipline, and based on what we think would be useful to you. I mean, you are open to say, hey, no, this is not useful. We are just meant to advise you and guide you. But we will try to do our best to say, this is what we think would be good for you in addition to what you've requested or what you think you will be interested in. Like we've mentioned, the program will be 12 weeks program. So starting from after this week, from next week, we'll try and circle back, gather what the reports are, in terms of your interest, and then speak to the other mentors based on their availability, then try to match it. And based on the assigned mentors to mentees, which we would communicate, then from there on, it will be between you, the mentors, and the mentee to decide on the frequency at which you want to meet, whether twice per month or 1 per month or 10 times, as long as it suits both your schedule. But at least on the minimum, we'll say at least miss once per month, or per week, or no, I don't want to put a ballpark on it because I don't know what people's schedule are. But basically, just create a schedule, try to follow your schedule and have a deliverable to us at the end of the April 2024, and the general onboarding will be 26 kind of. So on the model of how I would do the learning or the model of transmission or presentation, we're still working on that. But the key thing to just take care from here is we've heard you speak. We're going to take on your interest. We're going to combine it with what the mentors are offering, and we're going to try and align both mentors and mentees together. And then the mentors will get back to us on exactly what the project you guys have decided on, and would have a presentation, which will be on the 2024. But before the onboarding, which is 26, we already have what individual mentees and mentors will be working on and what will be the general plan. So that is the kind of dynamics we're planning to roll out. So if anybody have a comment, now will be a time to talk about it before we kind of dismiss the mentees. That goes for you mentees as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ola. That's powerful. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll stop sharing and then we can take questions. So the floor is open for questions. I don't see any in the chat. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and we can unmute you. Mentors, here's your chance to also ask the mentees any questions that you have. Thank you. Okay. And I'm sorry, I know we've gone over time.
I have a question, Ezekiel.
Hi, Ezekiel, go ahead.
Okay, this goes to the mentors. I respect and listen to your opinion, your various opinions about your past and what you do currently. But for someone like me, life. For someone like me, life is not always a bed of roses. I came from a family where everything hasn't been too smooth, or I haven't enjoyed so much privilege of choosing to do what I want to do or what I desire to do. So my question is this. Basically, I'm a biotechnologist. To remind us once again, because I saw you typed biochemistry for me. I'm a biotechnologist. So my hello.
We can hear you. There's background.
So my question is.
Ezekiel, you're breaking up.
Potential biotechnologists around the world who aim so high to make a difference in the world where we live in now. But they don't have enough support. I find myself as someone very privileged to be awarded a scholarship from VOA. But what about many others like like me who wish to make a very significant impact in the world, but don't have what it takes? I have two friends. I have two friends who we finished together in my secondary school. They were much more. These were people I looked up to during my secondary school days. That they are so much intellectual, and today they both of them are nowhere to be found in the academic line. Because they have to fend for themselves. With the current economic situation in the country, it's very hard for you to find a young Nigerian, a youth who still remains focused in his dream and his passion and so on. So what I'm trying to say is, both of them today, I don't think any one of them are still in the race or in the pursuit, which we all used to share amongst ourselves. One of them, which is from my state, Edo State. I'm from Edo State.
Ezekiel, sorry, can I interrupt you? Can you, in the interest of time, can you be brief with your question for us, for you?
Okay. So I'm sorry about that. My question is, if people like that, when you find yourself in the midst of people like that, what do you think you can advise them? What do you think you can do to encourage them, to remain with their dreams and their focus, and that's it. That's just the question, because that's it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So this is not pertaining to you, or I don't know if you're asking what can you do since you're the one close to them. We are aware that there's a lot of students that need help. Part of our gala, the theme was Mind the Gap. There are 20.2 million children out of school in Nigeria alone. So your friends that you're saying, they're part of that group. We can only do so much, but if we light your candle, like you're a beneficiary of the VOA scholarship for final year, how can you light somebody else's candle? By first of all, making yourself the best version, filling your cup, sharpening your skills so that you're not part of the statistics, but that you can make a difference. That's what I would say. You're there in their life, in that circle for a purpose. So I don't know if anybody else has any other, the mentors have addition and other questions. If other mentees have questions, can you type it in the chat, please, to make this go faster? So Ibi, yes, I see your hand.
Yeah, Ezekiel, great question. And I think, it's very noble of you. The one advice or the one analogy I'm going to provide is, say, for example, you're in an airplane and the oxygen masks deploy. What the attendants will tell you is, make sure you put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you put the oxygen mask on your child or baby or whomever, because you might pass out. So yes, it's very noble and you feel for them, but you have to make sure that you are on the right path. And like BC said, that would also inspire them and motivate them to kind of also focus, work on their dreams, because if you are there, they can do it too, right? There are some obstacles in their path. It might take them a little bit longer, but they can do it and they can do it well. So that's my answer.
That's great. Thank you, Ibi, for that addition. Okay. Are there any other questions from mentees or mentors to the mentees? Where are all our mentees? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Do we have everything that we need to know, mentors, about next steps? Okay.
Yeah, I think right now we could carefully dismiss the mentees so that we can just wrap up right here so that people can get back to other things, and we could just wrap up from our end and we'll get back to them.
Okay, that's a great idea. So mentees, before you go, I know you had questions about, some of you had questions about the cash award that was promised to some of you. It is coming. We're just working on our financial banking for the charity in Nigeria. But beyond that, cash award will finish, even if we give you $50,000. it will finish. But there are some things in life that are not quantifiable. And I hope that you're able to benefit and seize that from this journey that we're about to engage together. Yes, the cash award will help a little bit, but we need you to be committed and motivated. There'll be other rewards as we go along the line. 12 weeks is short, but we understand there may be challenges. But this is a life journey. But look at the positive and keep yourself motivated. If you need help, we have all these wonderful mentors here. And tomorrow we'll also meet with a life coach, because life happens. Like Ibi said, he had to learn people skills. We all need that in life, and how to cope when life happens, because we have no control over whether life is going to happen. It's a matter of when. So on that note, I think this was really helpful. Apologies for going over time. But mentees, if you have no other questions, this is a good time to drop off. But you have your WhatsApp group. Feel free to send any questions or comments. And there are some that are missing today, not able to join us today. Hopefully they can join Coach Niha tomorrow. So spread the word and keep shining your light. And by that, you give other people permission to also shine their light. That's what we are doing. So thank you, mentees. Hope you have a good weekend, and we mentors will stay connected. Okay.
Don't go overboard time.
Hopefully,
I would just like us to, okay. Victor, BC, do you want to say something?
no, I just started recording again to capture this. Thank you.
Okay, so basically, I don't want to take much of our time, so I just want to go over the last slide. BC, if you just want to share your screen again.
Okay.
So if you just go to slide 8 first before 9. Okay, so I know that in the past, and I know we have a lot of things doing, we some mentors raised some questions about the skill sets that was filled for the mentees, which they picked options for, and we said we're going to modify the skill set. We never got any input from the mentors on what would change, because I remember then that Didi was saying something about none of these skills would point someone towards wanting to do pharmacy or something like that. If we could still get that, that would be nice. But if we can't get that, we'll just move forward based on what the mentees have said they wanted right now, and based on what we think we could offer. So what I am proposing, BC, if you go to the next slide, please. The last slide. Is that okay? So we've met some of them. Basically, from the rundown, we have one biochemist, one biotechnologist, one medicine student, one mechanical engineer. I can't remember what the other ones are, but I'm going to kind of do a slide and put their discipline in front of it. Then based on that, I'm just going to do a random poll. I'm not that knowledgeable like you guys. Just say, hey, I think Umesh might be good for this person. I think Jules might be good for this person. I think EB might be good for this person. I would now pull that out to you guys. And then you guys can come back and say, no, maybe this is what I want to do and all that. We just quickly run through that so that we kind of narrow it down and know which mentee or which mentors gets who. And then if you are happy with what the mentees you are giving or with what you're supposed to do, then I think we can now then project it to the mentees. And then you guys can now meet and now tell us what do we call it, the project or the schedule you like to work on from, and then we can move from there. I know the December period, we're almost ending towards the festivities and things are probably going to be mudded up right now. So that's why I'm just trying to run through what the general idea will be. Then I'll let people now talk to see what their opinions will be. For the learning or for the mode of distribution of the learning or how it's going to be done, I think I sent a chat on what we're looking at the learning platform. I'm not sure if everyone saw it, but I just want to get people's idea on what we should do. How can we promote transparency and ease of collaboration? Say, hey, maybe Niles is teaching someone on some mathematical knowledge that I still want to gain more on, or some languages or things like that, and you want to just see what the person is doing or something like that. I don't know, but I'm just saying this is also an opportunity that if there is a learning platform out there that will make ease of collaboration and transparency easy, this is when we should know about it and we should try to implement it before January 26th. and say things like that. So that is generally what the whole idea is. So basically, from my side is just to say, based on my small knowledge, try to match the mentors with the mentees, let you guys know this is what I've done. Then you guys come back to me and say, no, that's not going to work. And we can go back and forth on it. The next, what are the learning platform which we could use, if there is any, that will make life easier for everybody. And then that's what I think. So its floor is open for people to comment and then advise otherwise.
Thank you so much, Ola. Okay, floor is open. More questions on how we roll out.
I had a question, actually a comment and then a question too. Just that I have a hard stop at 10:30, so I have like 15 minutes to discuss. But we can I think cover the points. So the learning platform, I think this is cohort 1. Even if it is, let's say, a Zoom meeting that we get set up, we get the mentees who have been allocated to us, we just show them on the Word document, get that meeting recorded. I think to begin with, that could be a potential quick solution. And then slowly we'll, as we get to know about other learning platforms, what is the subscription rate, things like that, we can incorporate it. So that's a comment, right, about what I think the learning platform could be to begin with. The question was, let's say now we have students or mentees who are not interested in software engineering, right? Which is like, they probably are more interested in a soft skill like confidence and courage, or, you know, any other aspect of life. So I think as a mentor, I could volunteer being a software engineer into that field. So if there are a couple of mentees who are just looking to focus for an hour to talk about how can I build up confidence, courage, like I would like to volunteer for those kind of subjects as well in those soft skills. So you can just feel free to match me with anyone who is interested, and we can have the hourly sessions.
This is
Okay,
great.
that's good to know. Thank you, Mesh. Yeah, Hebe.
Yeah, quick question. So most of them are in STEM related fields, but then some of them wanted to work on soft skills, like the individual who is the medical student. He was more interested in leadership and communication. In that instance, what is going to be the deliverable at the end of the mentoring period? Like, I would love to work, say, with him on that, but are we going to write a paper on this is what I learned? Or so I'm trying to understand that, because for, say, the ones who are like really hardcore engineering, computer science, AI, you could be like, oh yeah, we wrote this program that can say hello in, like, 50 languages or whatever. And that one you can say, oh, we did this, and this is something you can show. But then for the soft skills, what's going to be the deliverable at the end?
That's a very good question, Evie. I've not really thought about it, but I know Nia is a life coach, right? I'm sure maybe she has some answers, but would also think about it and would also pick Nia's brain on how that could be a deliverable and say, yeah, but that's a very good one.
What about a deliverable in that situation? What about a deliverable of like something like a letter of commendation or a letter of recommendation? You know, with our credentials, all of us are professionals, maybe writing a letter on the mentee's behalf, stating that you've worked with this person over a course of time. These are the skills that you believe the person has. This is how they develop. This is how they can contribute to a company or to society. So something that they can take to whatever next chapter they're going into, that says that, you know, me, Ndidi Amaka, I recommend this person because of XYZ skills.
This is good. That's a great point, Didi. I've put that as what we can give back to the mentee. And what we're also looking for as a measurable, like a KPI on the mentee started from level 1. When they finished by week 12, they are on a different level. How do we measure what we worked on? So we'll leave that for the mentor and the mentee to decide what they want to work on. For that example, EB and Emmanuel, I will invite you to tomorrow's meeting with Niha because there's so much to work on. So if I talk to Emmanuel, like, yes, he's a medical student, but what exactly, we asked him, what is your weakness? Talking to people, maybe public speaking or something. So, okay, how do we measure where you are now? Maybe do a video in your interaction with somebody now. Maybe down the road, we'll work on some things and see how you have progressed. I'm just throwing this out, but definitely those are great questions to hash out when you meet with your mentee. Between the two of you or three of you, because we don't have one-on-one match, we can figure out what we're going to work on. What do you want us to work on, and how do we measure it? And bring it to the mentors portal as channel on WhatsApp as well, and let's get some tips. But Didi, thanks for that letter of recommendation. It will be part of our graduation offer for them. I like that.
So a quick observation or two things. I think one thing I will want the mentorship group to avoid is becoming a tutorship group where you are tutoring this person on how to write code or things like that, or helping them with their projects and things like that. Which I think if the deliverable is a project of some sort, code or something, I think that could be a slippery slope. That's my own opinion. The second thing is that I think from my own observation of the students, I think I saw some gaps in communication in things like, when you say, introduce yourself, either they are very, very brief or they're very verbose, talking about impacting the world and things like that. And I'm like, I think for me, a good first step is even, let's take a video of where they are right now and take a video at the end of the internship. How have they grown in their communication? How have they evolved in their presentation of what they want to do, how they want to do it? I think that could be a good first step as well to at least give them something, communication, critical thinking, all those kind of things. I think those soft skills will probably, in my own opinion, be a better use of the mentor's time than like actually writing, teaching them how to write code and stuff like that. The mentor should be inspiring. I don't think the mentor should be tutoring. So that's what I'm trying to avoid here.
I love that feedback. That is powerful. That's great. Any other, Jill?
BC,
Yeah.
Real quick. So I think you said that Neha was going to do another session tomorrow. I might be able to join. I'm curious, what time is it?
Same time, 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, which is 6 p.m. Nigerian time.
Okay, and it's going to be for an hour?
Yeah, hopefully. That's the plan. It was our
Well,
first.
less than that. Claudius, do you want to say something?
Yes, a couple of things. So first, all good comments. So about the learning management system, I saw that message, and I have thought similar to what Umesh said. Let's start simple. It looks very. I definitely recognize the ambition that you have there to organize ourselves, but let's see how it goes. There are so many options, but managing the tool can become a job in and of itself. Okay, and I know we are all sort of freelancing on this one. It's not that VOA has full-time staff to take advantage of to use that. So there is that part, and then also the aspect that Rotimi just mentioned. This is mentoring, not tutoring, and an LMS is really for tutoring. And mentoring is less sort of regimented, or it's really very tailored to the bilateral relationship between mentor and mentee. So we will have to see, whether an LMS is what we need, and definitely. We should be adaptable to the needs of the mentor, not based on the discipline and all that, but the basic need that Rotimi has identified, how they introduce themselves. It's big actually. Yeah, I am a mathematician, as you know, but I do not limit myself to talking just about mathematics. We all have a lot of life experiences that can be useful to the mentor. So in your assignment, don't feel that you have to limit yourself to things that have to do with AI and machine learning and mathematics for me.
This is really good. This is really good. And one of the things we also talked about at the last 2 weeks ago gala was adding arts to our STEM. So we're not so regimentary. Like Rotimi perfectly noticed, introduce yourself. You don't even know how to. Who are you? You don't know how to introduce yourself. When we send out our questionnaire on all the soft skills, nobody chose that. They all wanted the AI, the robotics, the the coding, those things. But hey, you can't even talk. Who are you? So I think it's really important that we be prepared to mentor them on the basics about life challenges. Umesh said I could be there, not just for engineering aspect. Maybe they need another to talk to a man, a woman who's abroad, who is not in their family, saying you can't look at me when you're talking to me. You need to look down. A sign of respect. That's the coaching we're looking for. Rotimi, you're right in that we're not here to tutor you. You're going to school. You're paying private university tuition for tutoring. We should not be the one adding to that. But what else can we add to their lives to make them more groomed and ready for the world? So when we match up with whoever we choose, or either you choose your mentees or your mentees choose you, or Ola will choose for you if you can't choose. Let's just be open to work with them and coach them in that 12-week period.
Okay, just to kind of so that we let people go in 2 minutes, I kind of put the comments. I know I already shared the slides with you guys. So some of the comments, I just put it right there at the last meeting just to say, hey, for example, Rotimi said mentoring, not tutoring, or something like that. Just those kind of things, just to remind us of, and so by the time when we go over it, we know what we're taking off and what we're not taking in. And so the slides are just right there. I just updated them and added some comment. But we will take all your comments into, take the advice on the comments, or we work on them, and then we'll see what will work for everybody and look at the way to make things easier for everyone going forward. And maybe just before I know we said the meetings will be on the 13th or 20th, we'll probably send out a poll to see what is favorable. But before then, we'll kind of roll out what we think the right mentor to mentee assignment would be and what we think the deliverable should be. Just like you say, taking into cognizance whether mentoring or tutoring and deliverables and things like that, just so that we capture everybody. So thank you, everyone. It was really nice meeting you. That is from me to you.
This is great. So Rotimi, I'll add you to the mentors WhatsApp as well, so you can also be part of that and next steps, next meeting. Yeah. And let's say if you
have
anybody in mind that you want to choose for mentee, put it out there so we know. If not, you'll be assigned. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.